So it's almost like you're watching, and there's been different metaphors to describe this. You can imagine yourself standing on the ground, and then you're looking up at the clouds, and imagine that the clouds are your thoughts. So you're kind of watching them pass by. You're not really interacting with them. You're just looking at them without engaging with them. And then there's also descriptions and metaphors about meditation, which will describe you as kind of floating above the ground. And then the thoughts are like kind of little ants running around on the surface. There's different ways of doing it. Basically, they all seem to describe the same thing, which is detaching yourself, or what you consider yourself, your consciousness, your awareness, detaching that from your brain and your thoughts. Because ultimately the brain is not your consciousness. The brain is basically a tool, an organ in the body that can be programmed. It has various default mode networks. It has various like software scripts essentially that it runs. And these things happen for any number of reasons. That's not really your consciousness. When you identify with your mind and your body, that's where we get into all kinds of problems, all kinds of, and the Buddha, in mass collection of writings and teachings, he speaks about this quite often, that most of the source of misery and kind of discomfort and bad things, the source of bad experiences and bad feelings, tend to come from when you identify too much with your body and mind. When you identify so strongly with who you are supposed to be, like your ego, your title, your job, your possessions, even how you look. When you identify strongly with these things, if you lose some of that, then it can be very damaging and you can kind of panic and freak out. Whereas if you identify with your true consciousness, which is completely detached from the body, your true consciousness is interdimensional and kind of infinite and immortal. So when you identify with that, it really doesn't matter what happens to your body, to your possessions, or even to anything in your physical life, because you understand that that's not all there is. You exist in multiple different planes of reality, and this physical plane is just like the surface level. So going back to the point, meditation kind of helps you to become more self-aware, grounded, and to detach from that mind that's constantly always chattering like a kind of like a monkey essentially. You want to detach from those thoughts and instead focus on just keeping your awareness above those thoughts. You're kind of observing them passively. You're not interacting or engaging with them. Number 2, you want to kind of clean up your habits. And I'm not going to go too much into this because everyone's different.